Hi everyone, welcome back to our podcast. I am Sakeenah and this is
Reza-Astrid.
And together we make Similarly Opposites. This is our weekly podcast where we get together, discuss our travels, discuss what we're up to, just catch up, and we're inviting you to the conversation. So please grab a cuppa, use this as a podcast. That's what we are. And I hope you enjoy today's episode. So Reza, let's start off. What have you been up to? Also, I just want to say a disclaimer that we saw each other this week and probably later than what we usually would. I tried not to say too much when we were together, so we can.
Okay.
So that we can talk about stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the highlight of my week. It was so unexpected. Sakeenah literally called me and was like, "Hey, can I come over now?" I was like, okay. And in 40 minutes you were here, and it was just so nice to see you because we hadn't seen each other since February, and just to be in each other's same spaces and to chat face to face was such a good thing. Really needed that. And other than that, I've been studying. I had my exam last Friday. It was horrific. It was when you look at the exam paper and you're like, okay, I know this one, I know this one, I know this question, I don't know that question so well. And then you obviously start with the questions that you know, and that's what I did. But then towards the end, as I was reading the questions again and then reading my answers, I was like, did I even understand the questions? And it's just so frustrating because I know I studied for my exam, but it didn't come out. It didn't. So I really, that just put a damp on my whole weekend. But I did get to see some of my family as well. My cousin's getting married in December, and we went for a dress fitting for her wedding. So that was also exciting. But other than that, it's just been same old, same old. How about you?
You say a lot of things have changed. You say, oh, and I did this and I did that. And then you're like, same old. Things have been busy as usual, which is, I don't know actually if it's a good or bad thing. But yeah, things have been busy. I went out every day this week, after work, which is insane. So Monday night, I went to watch the sunset, went to my granny.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry, there was a whole, after you said you were at your granny's, it just stopped.
Again. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So let me start that again. You might have seen an edit snippet. Okay, so this week I've been super busy. Work has been busy, but also after work is so busy, and I just need to honestly just clear my head. And the way I clear my head is I listen to music and I sing at the top of my lungs. And because my family is working from home, that has resulted in me driving around a lot, to sing in the car and just chill and vibe out on the side. So Monday night, I went to go watch the sunset at London. Tuesday morning, I went to the beach. Then I had a business meeting. Then I had school. Then I went to Reza. Then I came home and literally came inside and checked my phone. And my friends were like, do you want to come for supper? We're here now, let's just go. So literally came home, changed my clothes, and then I went to supper. And then curfew, we have a national curfew, it's 10 o'clock. I was racing to get home in time for curfew. That was great. And then yesterday, what did I do yesterday? Oh, yesterday after work, I went to my cousin and I just did some gym vibes. Yeah, so my legs are real sore today, which is nice. I miss it. I welcome it. I'm haven't exercised it so long, and it's nice, babe. And yeah, today we were we need to sit down and actually film the pod. So here we are, but who knows where the day might take us,
I might end up at your house tonight. Jokes. Complete jokes. Other than that, anything else pop up on the internet that you...
Oh, yeah. This thing, I shouldn't have shared it. I shared it with Reza today. But there's this thing called 2 beers and a puppy. And I was also talking to my colleague about this because I said, because a lot of people, COVID-19 is making a lot of people lonely and where do you meet people? Where do you meet friends? in our late 20s. I mean, I'm in my late 20s, you know, and like there's a pandemic, like no one's chilling at like places anymore, like it's difficult. And then she was like, do you actually want to spend time with these people? I saw this thing, and it's like how you judge if you want to like actually have someone in your life is, would you drink 2 beers with them? So obviously I don't drink, but like, would you spend an extended amount of time? Would you go for coffee with them? And would you trust them enough to take care of a puppy if your puppy if you were away?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good measure on how to judge if you actually want someone in your life. So yeah, that's what I saw on the internet. I think it's right cool, and I'm gonna do that with my annual cull. I'm gonna do that consideration.
Tell us about your annual call for those of us who don't know.
Okay, so the annual cull is, the year is long, and we don't want to waste our time with people that are not contributing, not serving me in the way I want to be served. You know, you're not giving anything to my soul. So every year around September, as normal as everyone does, we make our goals and we like realign our thoughts, and we like envisage what we want to like project in our futures. And sometimes some people are just there for the moment, for the season, and for a reason. Now, and you need to get rid of them eventually, kind of a thing. So I do that. I was like, okay, who did I meet this year? Or whoever I had in this year, and they're like weighing me down. And then I just cut them off, and then I don't talk to them again, and we're not friends going forward into the new year. So that's the annual cull. I don't know if you do anything like that.
I've never done anything like that. I think I just do it throughout the year. So if I see someone or something that's bringing me down, I kind of just do it throughout. Like I'll unfollow or unfriend without them even noticing or realizing. But have you ever had to uncall someone? So you had to like go back on your calling?
Yeah, well, people do come back in your life again for a reason, a season, a time, a period. Yes, there have been friendships that have come back, but then soon enough they're gone again, because sometimes you can live without someone, but the other person can't necessarily live without you and whatever you contribute to that like relationship. So that happened, and you know that happened. I don't know why you're asking me that.
But other people don't know why that happened. But I wanted to segue that into, on Tuesday we spoke a bit about like friendship and the fact that hanging out with one another in some ways is the reason why we're still friends, and not like the only reason, but like we lived a stone throw, like a street from each other for about 4 years, 5 years, 4 years, and we saw each other for the first 3 years every single day. I don't think there was a day that went by unless you went home for the weekend, or I don't think like during the class week that we didn't see each other, because our schedules somehow magically just intertwine. And then obviously in the 4th year I was working, and you were still studying, and so it got a little bit more difficult to see each other. And then the 5th year you moved back to Cape Town, and like that's further away from Somerset West where I stay. And so, you know, it's just as you get older, you obviously don't live next door to your friends anymore, and it's more of an effort that you have to put out or put into.
It's a conscious decision, and surely that would mean more, because that's a conscious decision that we've taken to still see each other. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it takes a lot more effort.
It does take a lot more effort.
Like I saw friends Saturday, and some of them.
You've just been seeing people.
Not really.
The pandemic isn't over just because you're over it, Sakeenah.
The pandemic is not over, and I'm very aware that I'm not, like, it's not over. But I love, like, my old flatmate. I saw her, and like nothing has changed with her, but with everyone else it's changed. So I think like some connections just do run deeper, and that's also fun.
Yeah, some people you just have
you make it sound like I've seen people. I haven't seen people.
I know.
Anyway, I see them responsibly, like you're that far, like far.
Yeah, you still gotta, you have to see people eventually, but you just have to keep being safe and wear your mask and all that jazz. I think.
I can't tell you like how much world of good it's done me. Like I was so happy this week. Like
Good.
exponentially so. Like I was like even yesterday that same friend came to drop stuff from my house. I wasn't even here. I was at work. And she just knowing like she like thought about me enough to like drop stuff by me and like ask me, you know, just I was just so happy. Like I haven't seen anyone for 6 months. That's a long time. And I've been quite strict on the lockdown thing. Yeah. So it's been nice. I'm not gonna lie, it's been nice.
Yeah, it's been 6 months.
It's been long, dude. It's half a year.
Months.
With no friend interaction.
Yeah.
That's not normal. Like prisoners get more. They get visitation hours.
And I mean, they still get to see people. You know, they're not just in their cell.
I see my colleagues, my kids, but it's the connections don't run deep.
Yeah.
As you know. So I've been really happy, and I'm trying to like stay away from people, but also it's been so nice. So it's like a catch-22.
And the weather's also been really nice lately, which also like really ups our mood because if the weather's good and you're outside, and like you said, you went to the beach. It's just your mood has to be lifted.
Yeah, morale is high in the workplace because of the weather, but it's like the kids also seem happier. The beaches are full. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't get out of the car at the beach. I just sit at the beach like.
Yeah, apparently people are not wearing masks when they're at the beach, which is a big no-no. Like obviously if you're sitting by yourself, like with your own people, but I don't know, like I just think of it at the end of the year, especially here at Strand Beach and Gordons Bay, it gets so packed, like so many people. How will you regulate that at the end of the year and make sure that, you know, it's just, I actually scared to think so many people in one space at one time. Like it actually freaks me out to think that there'll be that many people like on the beach interacting without meaning to interact. And that's why like times like this week is a good week to go to the beach because it's starting to warm up, but people are still at work and people still at school, so it should be less people. But then like you said on Monday, I think you said, don't these people work at 10 a.m? Like it was Tuesday morning. You're like, what is going on?
It was so cool, and I'm like, how are these people making money like at the beach surfing on a Tuesday morning at 10? That's like insane. And I also think like for me, I don't think I'm gonna go to the beach as often as I'd like to in summer, just because like first of all the people thing freaks me out, like too many people in the same place, but also it's like there's no tourists though. Maybe it will be less because, you know, December is December. It's a culture in Cape Town. And I don't know how many tourists go to like Strand, Gordons Bay side, but they're definitely on our side. Like, you know what I mean? So
but at the same time, don't you think because there won't be tourists, people who usually would have avoided the beach because there would have been too many tourists will be like, let's go to the beach because it'll just be
I think you're either a beach person or you're not.
Very true. I agree. 100%.
Yeah. You're either a beach person or you're not. You're either going to go or you're not. Also, I feel like a lot of people have spent, like me personally, like spent a lot of time at home, but improving your situation at home. Because you don't actually want to leave because you've been so long, and it's quite comfortable. So what's the beach going to give me? It's going to give me hot sand and super icy water. Never going to get in that water. I don't know why people go to Clifton, like they're never going to swim. So yeah, I'm planning on like buying those like boulder pool things. So if it's super hot, I'll just sit in my garden and live my best life and do like other mainstream but also cooler things in summer. It's just us, exactly. Like local.
And I think we've also realized now we don't need to go out to have a good time. In the sense that we don't need to go to the beach to have like a nice afternoon in the water when a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I mean like a lot, I don't know how to say it, but people have swimming pools at home, but then they would neglect their swimming pools. They'd be like, I don't want to clean that, and then rather go, to the tidal pools and swim there. Or people have gardens or have like open space outside, and they wouldn't do anything to sit outside or spend time outside, when now, like you said, you could buy a whirlpool or build a pool, whatever it's called, and set it up outside and just enjoy yourself. Because during lockdown, we had to find ways to enjoy this space that we find ourselves in, and the four walls that we find ourselves in. And I think that's why during lockdown, I was like, I want to get rid of everything in my room, and then I was like, no, I want to move my bed. And I was like, no, I want to move this. And it's frustrating when the vision you have in your head doesn't come out. Like your room is just not the vision in your head, But I've also realized like we have like a small patch of grass in the front of our house that we can use when it gets a little bit warmer and sit outside and, put some tent chairs up, a blanket. We never would have done that before, but now, why not?
Yeah.
I'm going to sneeze.
Like, we're constantly improving. I mean, my room is still not done. I still want to do that. But, like, the house has changed a lot. Like, I think our whole family, like, bless you. I think our whole family just, like, enjoying our spaces that we're in. Mm-hmm. So today we got like a new gate got put in.
Oh, nice.
Every week something different. Bless you.
Sorry.
Fine. Bless you. So yeah, like doing slowly but surely, like making random changes. House, but also it's lovely to get out. I'm not gonna lie, it's amazing to get out, to be honest. Like the beach, I love how the beach is so topical because our topic today is the beach, basically. But honestly, sunsets just hit differently. Like, I'm excited for summer. I'm so excited for summer. I love it.
Yeah, I was in Cotton On yesterday. I saw some bathing suits that I want to pick up, and I was like, I'm ready for summer. Even if I never step a toe into a pool or a beach or anything, I still want new swimwear, because I just feel like when you have new swimwear.
We got to St. Helena
in summer, huh?
We got to St. Helena for a break. Like we went like just me and you.
Yeah, just me at this rate. I would love to. You know what I really want to do? No offense to you. Yes, we're more than welcome to do something together. But you know what I want to do? It just frustrates me that we live in the society that we live in, the country that we live in at the moment. I just want to go to a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere by myself. No one else. I've been craving this. Like it brings me tears. That's how much I want to do this. I just want to go. Like I want to go on a road trip by myself. Drive for like 2.5, 3 hours, maybe 4 hours. We're living adventurous here. Adventurous. We're living here, whatever the word is. And I want to get there in the middle of nowhere. There's no neighbors. There's nothing. It's just me and this house,
Insane.
And I just think it will be so good for my soul. It'll be so good for my mental health. Just the way I'm feeling right now, it would hit the spot. And then I think about it. And I'm like, you want to do what? I've watched, ouch. I burned my lip. I've watched way too many scary movies and farm murders. I don't think it's possible. So
that's because you're craving that, and normally I'm the like off the beaten track kind of girl.
Usually I'm the busy girl.
Yeah, I'm craving to go live in that same house where I was the other day when I went to go watch the sunset from.
Yes.
That view was incredible. Yeah. And like I want to live in that same house so that people were, because it's an Airbnb for those who don't know. Like the people were, because it was just looking like Keier life, like lekker. And I was just like, Oh, I missed
Yeah,
that.
because usually I'm the person who's like, I want the views, and you're the person who's like, I want to be on the view. You know, I want to actually be on the mountain. And now it's the other way around. You know what I'm craving? I'm craving to put on some hiking boots and hike for like 6 days straight. I just want to be out there. I want to be in the woods. I want to feel the wind on my cheeks, the cold stream water on my tongue. But here I am in my city home. So it's a weird thing. I don't know why I'm craving this. I've never craved the outdoors so much. Like I was even thinking taking my tent and going to like a campsite for a night. Like I want to be out there. I want to sleep outside. I want the stars to say goodnight to me. I want to wake up to the sun coming, you know. So but anyway, we've been speaking a lot about the beach, and like you mentioned, this week's traveling destination was a very beachy destination. And last week, what do you say?
Literally an island.
Yes, last week we spoke about our trip to Tanzania and Mangula, the village specifically. And we were in Mangula for about 11 days. And after that, we thought was it 11 days? Yes. Yeah, it was 11 days. And then at the end, we thought, we're here, we might as well check out the hype about Zanzibar. And we went to Zanzibar for 3 days, 2 nights. And this was during the World Cup. This was during the summertime. And we stayed in Stone Town. Sakeenah has a whole vlog about our trip. We were actually on Tuesday. We watched the vlog again, and it's just so funny how much we've grown up. And like at one stage, she's filming me walking down the corridor, the hall, to go to our room, and it looks like it's our villa. Like this is our house. It was a beautiful place where we stayed in.
It basically was. I think. Yeah. What?
Huh? Sorry.
It basically was our villa. Like there was no one else there.
Exactly. There was literally no one else there, and it was so quiet. And it wasn't in the center of Stone Town. It was just a little bit on the outskirts. And yeah, it was beautiful. And we found it on Airbnb. I think you found it, right?
Found it on Booking.com. It's called the Reminisce Hotel in Stone Town. There's like a cinema, the only cinema on the island attached to it. It was super cool. The hosts or the people at the reception was super nice and accommodating, and the chefs and stuff were also. So 10 out of 10 recommend if you're going to go there on a little bit of a budget. That'd be great.
It's very budget friendly, and it's clean. And we even like Sakeenah said, the receptionist was so nice. Like the first day we thought we were going the right direction, and they were like, wait, let's just ask. And he's like, no. This is an easier route. And even when we were leaving, he showed us like an easier route to get to the ferry. So we didn't have to like walk in traffic and stuff. So it was really 10 out of 10 for sure. Sakeenah, highs and lows, pits and peaks. Tell us about Zanzibar.
My high of the high of the high of the high is Nakupenda Beach. It costed us, again, TripAdvisor, it costed us $10 to go to our own, like, basically private beach. And it's just like off the island. You go on a small little boat and you go there. We spent like the morning there. Fantastic. Loved it. Didn't like that there was no like sea life, but loved the chilled vibes of it. There's also no shelter, so it's hot. So you need to be in the water all the time. Incredible. Love that. Go watch it on my blog. Incredible. Like honestly, I could do the whole holiday like that. Reza goes, I could never spend more than 1 day in the beach. Like, no, in the video she says that. And I'm like, shh, enough now. And then my absolute pit was food poisoning. Also, go check it out on the blogs. Ate one of like a shawarma thing. You know where they like stack the meats and then they like cut the edges off and they put it in a shawarma. Got food poisoning. Amazing.
So sick. I'm gonna put my Zanzibar video down below as well. Watch the last, please. Whatever you do, watch the last 3 minutes. I think it's just
look at my eyes, like eyes give it away. Like
so sick. You look so
good.
It was very
Yeah,
worrying as well because we didn't know what to do because you were like a fish. You were like, ugh.
I was down and out. I sleep on the toilet floor,
Yeah,
like
it was bad.
low. What's your pits and peaks? Zanzibar.
My peak was the food market. I loved those shawarmas. They were delicious. Besides the one that we had on the last night that definitely made you sick, but all the other shawarmas was also really good. And the variety of local food they had. So they had a lot of seafood, which we didn't really try the seafood, but it looked delicious. And then you had this like pancake thing, which was also delicious.
It's called a pizza.
No, it's not a pizza. It's not a pizza. But it was just a nice vibe. Like we went there every day, or every evening, and it was just nice to walk around and to see the way like the locals also enjoy the market, because they also eat there, and how everyone is just so nice and accommodating for the most part.
Yeah.
For the most part. and
why are you saying for the most part? Who was not nice? Like everyone was nice.
One or two pushy people, but that is just the way people are at food markets. But I wouldn't say.
Oh, like trying to sell you their product.
Yes,
vibes.
that's just a general thing. What I also liked about the trip was that after day one, it felt like home as well. Like we knew the lay of the land in a sense. Like we literally the first day we walked everywhere, and then the next day we're like, oh, we don't need a map anymore. We know where we're going.
But also we went into like a side road to find something very obscure. I can't remember what we wanted to buy. A nail clipper? I don't know. Something like randomly. And because we were in the village, we like obviously picked up the language and like the basics. And they're not, oh my gosh, if someone says Hakuna Matata to me again.
That's my low.
Just like, what?
That's my low.
Yeah. Talk and then I'll talk.
Okay. So with us knowing the lay of the land and with us knowing some of the language, it felt like we were just going into the market or into town to pick something up or to go shopping. And also when we got into shops, because we knew some of the language and because we greeted them in their own language instead of like hello, we were very nice because obviously Mommy and Baba like taught us how to be kind, not that we weren't kind before, but they like showed us how to be hospitable. I'm like really not doing well today. How to be hospitable towards other people that we would be meeting. People really liked us and they were very like welcoming towards us because we had this good energy. And what I didn't like is the fact that the whole Hakuna Matata thing, like everything, Hakuna Matata is such a selling point in that area, and a lot of people who visit Zanzibar, like that's the only two words they know, and that they use that for thank you, hello, how's it going, what are you doing, do you want to buy this? Everything is Hakuna Matata. It's on a t-shirt, it's on a hoodie, it's on a panty, it's everywhere, and it's so frustrating because especially when you are a local from Mangula and you know the language, it's just really frustrating to go into a space where people think you know nothing about their culture, about their language, and it's frustrating. The foreigners are so rude, bruh. Like I can't get those. I think there was Australian couple that were in the market. They were just so rude, and I don't know, like I think Zanzibar was a big juxtaposition where I loved it, but I also was very frustrated by it. Also because when people talk about Zanzibar, they love Zanzibar. Like people who have been to Zanzibar can't stop talking about their trip to Zanzibar, but it's because they went to Zanzibar, the resort. They didn't go to
without experiencing the people from Zanzibar, which is, could be anywhere in the world. Go to Alaska, you know, same experience kind of a thing.
Exactly. But it's just, they just went to the resorts and they stayed at the resorts and they had all you can eat at the resorts. They didn't have to really venture out. Whereas I think because we weren't at a resort, we didn't have a all you can eat buffet at our hotel. You know, we had to go out. We had to, you know, if we needed something. I think one night we went to go buy Pringles and toothbrushes or something, and we just had to go to like, yes, we just had to go to like a size store, which kind of looked weird. Like we didn't know, but also again because we were walking the same routes every day, the people in Zanzibar started recognizing us, and I promise you, by like the end of the second day, we would walk past the same people, and all of a sudden they would greet us. They'd be like, hello, how are you? Not like in a weird way, but just in a, oh, they're staying here. Like, this is a long-term visit, you know? And I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked it. But just learn the word. Like, stop Hakuna Matata-ing. Imagine someone tell you lekker every time you see you.
Lekker, 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 lekker. Lekker. It gets frustrating, and I can't imagine how frustrating it must be for them, like the locals living there, to hear that all the time. Also, we went during Lion King season, like either the new Lion King was coming out or was, so it was even more, and I got to a point where I was like, I can't take this anymore. Also, I think Zanzibar is very much a place for if you are a beach person. If you're a beach person, a warm place, that is your vibe. Again, I will say it again, I'm not really a beach person, but Sakeenah loved it, and I must say, if Sakeenah says go to Nakapenda Beach, go to Nakapenda Beach, spend that $10. It was perfect. I didn't want to go. I was like, I can spend $10 on something else. Not that there was anything else really to do, but it was the best $10 I spent in Zanzibar, hands down. So thank you so much.
Pleasure. Because the thing is, like, okay, you want to go scubaing, amazing. They take you to Prison Island, fantastic. $70 on the end of our Tanzanian 2 week. I don't have that money.
Exactly.
But support local. Don't support. I mean, do support Paddy. Love them, but don't support these scuba schools if you don't need to. Like, so put it back into the like local money, and if you just want to literally go to swim and chill vibes, you know, then spend that $10. Like, you don't need to go for your 70. Especially like, imagine now we went on a boat and we went out and they took us like scubaing. You didn't go scuba, and then you wasted $70 just because you want to be there. You know what I mean?
And I think Zanzibar, a lot of research needs to go into your trip on what you want to do, what you can do, what you can't do. I think it's also different because we went towards the end of our trip. I think maybe we went different if we went towards the beginning of our trip. I don't think we would have been like, yeah, $70, let's go scuba. Because, I mean, you might have because you wanted to scuba. But that's just the thing, you wanted to scuba dive. So that was like the number one thing on your list of doing while we were there. But I think because there was a lot of people that saying, oh yes, go to Prison Island. You have to see Prison Island. Go to the turtles. You have to see the turtles. Go to Nakapenda Beach. You have to go. And at the same time, like, if you're not that type of person, you don't have to go where the hype is. And just a reminder that Zanzibar is actually huge, and you might end up getting at the ferry and then realizing you have to spend like $160 to get to your resort because it's just so far away. So keep that in mind.
Because you don't speak the language.
Exactly. So keep that in mind, and maybe if you are going to a resort, make sure that they pick you up, just so you can save money there, because we did actually meet a couple and they had to pay like $160 just to get to their resort. And we were like, if that is us, we're staying on this ferry. We're going back to Dar es Salaam. But yeah, that was Zanzibar. It was so nice. I wouldn't run to go back to Zanzibar anytime soon. But it was, I'm glad that I went. And I have the stamp in my passport, because when you get off the ferry, you have to go through customs. Also, big travel tip. Always have a pen on you. Have a pen. Because otherwise you'll have to wait in line, wait till that person's pen travels down to you, and hopefully it works. But always have a pen, because when you get to customs, they usually don't have pens to give you. So ever since then, I've been carrying a pen in my bag. I have a pen in like my pass thing. It's so important.
Yeah. I would go back to Zanzibar, but if I do go back, I want to go back like a rich person, and I don't want anyone. I don't want anyone to talk to me. I'm on a journey for myself. Like, then I'll go back to Zanzibar. Like, 100%.
Resort that has its own private beach. I wanna. That's yes. And everything must be paid for. So if I say I want that piece of chicken, sorted. I want that tuna burger, sorted. I want those drinks, sorted. I want to go scuba diving, sorted. It's all inclusive. I hear you. Yes, then I would definitely go back to Zanzibar. But I also just think that there's so many other places in the world. So I know, like that's a thing of like how you measure should you go back to a country or not, because we did say we were going to go back to Azerbaijan, but then you think about all the other countries you haven't been to yet, and you're just like, because it's not like Azerbaijan is like cheap to get to.
I'm manifesting that I'm going to be rich enough one day to travel when and where I want to go. Manifesting it. Manifest
it. Speak it into the universe. It will happen.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. So, do you want to exit this? Do I want to exit this?
That's our Zanzibar podcast. That's our Tanzania chapter closed. Overall, it was a 10 out of 10 experience. And next week, we travel to Mozambique, another Operation Smile mission, which has
very interesting story.
Very interesting, and it has very, very interesting stories. It's a bit chaotic all over the place. I think Sakeenah and I need to have a call before then to just to pick and choose what we're gonna share or not share, because
I think they should know everything. Yeah, I think they should know everything that happened to us that will stay in our brain. The good, the bad, the ugly. And we won't say anyone's names. We'll call them John and
Jane. But there's only one John and Jane, and they're the biggest problems. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us in this podcast. Again, please subscribe to this channel. Comment down below. Let us know if you enjoyed this podcast or not, and what your answers are to the questions we asked today. Down below, and as always, the info box will be filled with resources, our Instagram, our YouTube channels, and our playlist for our Tanzania and Zanzibar vlogs. Please check it out, and we'll see you next week, Friday. Bye!